Despite there being no explicit prohibition of oral sex in the sacred law, some Arab and Asian Muslims disapprove of the practice due to cultural attitudes towards what is considered acceptable sexual practices. So there are some scholars and some people who are of the opinion that oral sex is not befitting for a Muslim, and it is considered to be, some people say it is disgusting, some people say it is vulva, not vulgar, sorry, some vulgar. Some people say it is an act that is just done by dogs. And Mufti Muhammad Ibn Adam al-Kawthari, who authored an excellent book on Islamic Guide to Sexual Relations, he said on the topic of oral sex, the spread of pornography has increased the prevalence of oral sex, and it is now commonly practiced by many couples. It is generally considered contrary to the proper conduct of a Muslim. Most contemporary scholars hold this practice to be disliked. So in his view, it is disliked, but he did not say it is haram. And he's a Hanafi scholar. And also Muhammad al-Jibali in his book, Closer Than the Garments, and he is a scholar, a Salafi scholar, I believe, who studied under Sheikh Albani. He said in his book, oral sex was not one of the known practices of the early righteous Muslims, amongst the Salaf, in his opinion. And then he says, in addition, it is known to be the practice of dogs and the disbelievers. So he was of the opinion that oral sex is something that only non-Muslims and dogs do. And in his book, he also quoted Sheikh Albani, may Allah be pleased with him, who once asked about oral sex, and he replied, we have not heard of anyone doing this except dogs. He said, we have not heard of anyone doing this act except dogs. So again, Sheikh Albani was his teacher. So it looks like he took Sheikh Albani, may Allah be pleased with him, some position on that it is not an act that one should do, but there is no evidence to say that it is haram. And I'm in agreement with the scholars, like the Maliki scholars. I follow the Maliki madhab. And when I studied in Egypt and in Al-Azhar in the university, they did not say that it was haram with the scholars I studied with. And I think that I agree with the scholars that say it is not haram, that is permissible, and it is even something which can be a good act because it can help a woman experience not only sexual pleasure but sexual climax, orgasm, because most women do not experience an orgasm via penetrative sex alone. Studies have shown only about 20 to 30% of women regularly experience an orgasm via penetrative intercourse alone. So oral sex can be definitely a great way, a wonderful way to not only please a woman, but also to help her experience the joys of sex. So that's why in my book, I then gave some techniques and advice in terms of performing cunnilingus,